Something is shifting in the frequency of this year. June opens quietly, not with a bang, not with the sudden disruption we felt when Uranus crossed into Gemini. This is something older, deeper, a tide turning rather than a wave breaking. And if you've been paying attention, you can already feel it. June 1st, Mercury enters Cancer. This is the official beginning of what I'm going to call the Water Retrograde Trilogy. Here's what that means and why it matters more than anything in the 2026 sky. This year, all 3 Mercury retrogrades fall in water signs. The last time this happened was back in 2013. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. In February, we moved through Pisces already, the dissolution. The dreams that wouldn't crystallize, the things we had to feel rather than think. June 29th through July 23rd, Cancer, that one is coming. And Mercury is moving into Cancer right now, which means we're inside the retrograde shadow. This is the period before the retrograde begins, where the conversations, the emotional undercurrents, the unfinished feelings, start rising to the surface before we name them. October 24th through November 13th, Scorpio, the final act, the deep reckoning. This is the trilogy of emotional intelligence that 2026 is demanding from us. It stands in direct contrast to everything else in the sky. Saturn and Neptune in Aries, Uranus in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius, Jupiter moving toward Leo, fire and air everywhere, forward, outward, electric, accelerating. The retrogrades are the counterweight, the water that holds the fire, the depth that gives speed meaning. Don't skip this thread. We'll be following it for the rest of the year. Mercury in Cancer is not Mercury at its most comfortable. Mercury rules thinking, communication, and information. It's quicksilver, lateral, logical, associative. Cancer is memory, emotion, instinct, the past reaching forward into the present. When Mercury enters Cancer, our thinking becomes feeling. The way we process information shifts. We're less interested in logic and more interested in whether something resonates deep before we can explain it. Whether it connects to something we carry, something inherited, something ancestral, something that lives in the body rather than the mind. This is actually powerful if you know how to use it. The conversations that rise in Mercury Cancer periods are the ones we've been avoiding. The things we need to say to the people we love most. The inner monologue that finally stops performing and just tells the truth. Pay attention to what arrives in your mind in early June. Not everything Mercury in Cancer surfaces is old and stuck. Some of it is wisdom that's been waiting for you to be emotionally ready to hear it. Find out which house Mercury is moving through for you. That's where this emotional intelligence is gathering. The link to our free birth chart calculator is in the description below. Now on to June 3rd. Mercury in Cancer squares Neptune in Aries. This is the first test. Neptune is the planet of fog, illusion, idealism, and dissolution. It's in Aries right now, which means the fog has an urgency. The confusion wants to act. The illusion feels like conviction. When Mercury squares Neptune, our thinking becomes susceptible. It becomes harder to distinguish between what we actually think and what we want to think. Between intuition and wishful thinking, between a genuine signal and a feeling we've projected meaning onto. The classic Mercury-Neptune signature, the conversation that seems illuminating in the moment but turns out to have been misunderstood. This doesn't mean trust nothing that arrives around June 3rd. It means hold it lightly, let it breathe. Don't act on the first wave of feeling. Let the tide recede a little before you decide what the water left behind. Neptune is also the planet of deep spiritual perception. The same aspect that can confuse can also open. Some of what surfaces around this square is genuinely from a deeper place. You just can't always tell the difference at first. The practice is discernment without cynicism. Stay open, move slowly, check back in a few days. Then comes the highlight of the week. June 9th, Venus conjunct Jupiter at 25 degrees Cancer. Venus is love, beauty, value, what we desire and what we offer. Jupiter is expansion, abundance and faith, the largeness of things. And they are meeting exactly in Cancer, the sign of home, of family, of the nourishment we give and receive. It is ruled by the moon, which means it is always shifting, always responsive, always carrying the past into the present. This is one of the warmest astrological signatures of the year. If you've been waiting for a sign that abundance is coming, this is it, not in a naive sense, but in the sense that the universe occasionally aligns in a way that says, abundance is available here, open to receive it. What that looks like depends on your chart. In the second house, financial ease, the seventh house, a relationship deepening, or the fourth house, a sense of rootedness that you've been reaching for. Find the 25-degree Cancer area of your chart. That's where this conjunction lands. And if you haven't downloaded the free birth chart calculator yet, the link is in the description. This is one of those moments worth knowing your exact house for. This is June part 1, Mercury moving us inward, Neptune asking for discernment, Jupiter and Venus opening a door. It's a remarkable beginning to a month that will continue to deepen. In part 2, we'll move into the Gemini new moon on June 14th, a reset of communication and duality energy, Venus entering Leo, and the extraordinary triple event of June 29th, when Mercury stations retrograde, Mars enters Gemini, and Jupiter enters Leo, all on one day. But first, let the water carry you. Let Mercury in Cancer do its work. Trust the feelings that are rising, and stay curious about what the Water Retrograde Trilogy is asking you to remember. Drop your rising sign in the comments. I want to see which house Venus and Jupiter are lighting up for you. That conjunction on June 9th is one of the warmest aspects of the year, and I want to know how it's landing. Subscribe to our channel so you're with us for part 2, the Gemini new moon, Venus into Leo, and the triple event that closes June. As always, the Lighthouse is here to help you navigate the way.